Hello, I'm Paul Johnson and I make unique pop-up books. In this workshop I'm going to show you how you can make a carousel pop-up. Let's have a look at one. The first spread is a living room of a house. The next spread is the kitchen. The third spread is a bedroom. And the last spread is the bathroom. If I join the covers together and I hold it like this, you'll see why it's called a carousel. It's just like a fairground carousel, and you can see the whole of the pop-up just by walking around it. For this workshop, I'm just going to make the first one here. Let's have a closer look at that one. And here it is. And you see we have a floor, we have a table on the left, we have a chair on the right. And all of this is made just from a single sheet of paper. Now don't use paper that's too thin, don't use photocopier paper, and don't use cardstock. Use something roughly in between those two. The size of the paper doesn't matter in the slightest because I'm not using any measurements. So here's a sheet of A4 size. You could work on this. This is like letter size paper in the States, or it could be half this size, or it could be twice this size. And in fact, the one I showed you here, this is the one made from this size paper. Before I start, can I apologise for being left-handed? I know lots of my instructions are going to seem round the wrong way, and I'm very sorry about that, but I'm sure you'll work that one out. Let's have the paper in front of us in the landscape position. Let's make the corners very carefully touch. Fold the paper at the halfway point, and we're going to use a scissor handle to sharpen that crease. Sharp creases makes a huge difference to work of this kind. Open the sheet and turn to the portrait and fold in half again, carefully making the corners touch, folding down the long middle crease and then sharpening again with the scissor handle. I'm going to hold the paper like this with the crease on the right side. I'm going to make this bottom edge here touch the middle crease here. So I'm going to fold this diagonally. Let me just do it like this, hold it up like this, there it is. Can you see that's going over at a diagonal there? I'm going to lay this on the tabletop, sharpen that crease, and so we have this. We have this piece going out, that's the floor of the room, over the edge of the long strip. The piece sticking out we're going to cut off. And we're going to lay that on one side because we're going to use this later. Let's open the sheet. And I'm now going to bring over the same creases as on that piece, but with lines, little dotted lines, so you can see the creases on the sheet. The bottom right panel here is going to be the floor of the room. So most of the left side we can remove, but we do need some of that in. Let me just demonstrate why we need a bit of paper left in here. Can you see on my diagram here? I've got a little tab, we call it, a little on the left side of the bottom panel, a little tab here. But the rest of that can be cut out. This tab here will be for gluing the floor to the side of the room. So if I hold it like this, you'll now see how it's going to look when we remove that piece off the bottom left. So let me take back again the piece which I folded to start with. There it is. I'm just going to draw on here where that tab is going to be on the left side. So I'm going to come up here, just take the diagonal there, draw a line across there. So we have this, and I'm just going to cut that line, those lines there, up to the diagonal, cut the diagonal, and then cut along the horizontal, there like this. Now, do you see how this tab here, just bend that forwards like this, can you see how when we fold this down, that is going to go to the back like that, It'll be glued in place, and that will hold the floor into the room of the house. So I'm just going to lay this open in front of me here. I'm going to get the glue brush. I'm just going to rub some glue just along that tab. I'm going to then fold it back just as we looked at it just now, like this. Glue that tab to there it is. And then when I fold it over and then push the house inside, the floor then pops into the room on that middle diagonal crease. So we have this. Now in our model we've got a table on the left and the chair on the right. I'm going to work on the table first. That's going to be then drawn on this side here. Just let me draw a line which will represent the side of the table. Now, can you see I've just drawn a line here? It's about a thumb or two thumbs in. It doesn't really matter. That's not critical. A line there. What's important about this, and it's a bit difficult to show this because if I open this like this, we're going to be cutting here with the scissors. Now, if I draw that line too high, do you see it's going to collide with the diagonal crease of the base? And we don't want that to happen. So just look very carefully that you're not making the table too tall. I'm just going to then make the other side of the table there like this. I'm going to take the scissors and I'm going to hold together the back of the side of the room and the left part of the floor, and I'm going to cut through those there and there. I'm just going to fold this forwards like this. Do you see I'm folding the table forwards? But the way, as you'd make this, try and do all your folding on the table top. I have to hold it up so you can see, but you get much sharper creases if you fold on the flat surface. I'm going to push that down. I'm going to open up the inside, push up that table, push it down there, and there you see how easy it is to make the table. On the other side, I'm going to make the chair. I'm going to make the chair naturally smaller than the table. So let me do a line here, a line there. You can see it's going to be a smaller kind of box shape there. And just as with the table, I'm just going to open this a bit. So I'm holding the floor and the side together, and I'm just going to cut up the line there like this, and I'm going to fold that forwards so it looks like this. I'm going to unfold the chair. I'm going to open into the inside of the pop-up, push the chair upwards like this, fold it back, creases inside, and there we have the table and the chair together in the middle. Now, almost all of this can be done then just with a pair of scissors. But if we go back to this one again, we have this little table in the middle. You see it's got like a blue kind of table legs, and then the top of the table is this purple section here. We have to make that separate and join that in, and that's how we're going to do that. Would you take that piece of paper that we had left over, this piece here, and where the crease is, we're going to cut that in half like this. We're going to lay one piece on one side. We just take this piece here, and we're going to fold that in half like this, and I'm going to cut along that crease there, and then I'm going to lay one of those pieces on one side and just keep this. I'm going to crease a small tab at the top. Do you see it's just a little tiny tab there? Whenever I make a tab, it's nearly always for gluing. So just a tiny little strip here for gluing later. I'm then going to keep that crease folded and fold that forwards to touch the bottom edge. I'm now going to just rub the brush along there, and I'm going to glue that tab down to the bottom edge of this little shape here. So if I turn it sideways, you see it's like a little lozenge shape there. Turn it back to here, and then I'm going to fold that down again so the top edge touches the bottom edge. So I have this, and then going to open it to this. I'm going to fold it vertically in half, like this, unfold it, and then I'm going to cut down that middle crease I've just made. So we have these two little pieces here. Now if the glue has dried, we should open this to a box. Yes, the glue is nearly dry there. Little box here, and then the other piece will make an identical box to that one. Just let me get my fingers inside there, like this. I love to use the word fiddly for this. It's a word I think is only used in England. And when I teach in America, people laugh at me when I use the word fiddly. But I think fiddly is just the right word, because it's just very fiddly to get all these bits of paper folded. Now, there's the two little boxes there, and I'm going to join those two together. So I'm going to run glue brush along one face there, and I'm going to join the other side like this, and there you see we joined the two little boxes together there. Now this is going to be glued down to the middle crease of the base here, that diagonal crease of the floor. You see how that's going to go there? And when we glue the boxes down, it's absolutely essential that the middle part of the two boxes touches the middle crease of the base. So I'm going to rub the glue there and there. I'm going to lay that in the middle there, making sure then that where the two boxes touch is where the middle crease of the base is. It's a bit fiddly this, isn't it, there, to get that in place. Now, on top of the, like the table legs, we're going to put the table top. That's the purple piece on here. This is going to be too big. I'm going to make this a bit smaller. This is the leftover piece of paper, of course, here. And let's make a, there it is. There's a box, something like this. And I'm going to fold that diagonally, like this. And then that middle crease of the tabletop, we're going to align that with the middle of the table legs. I'm just going to apply the glue to the top of those boxes, and I'm going to lay that down absolutely central in there like this. And I'm then going to put this on one side, because if I close it now, the glue isn't dry and it's just going to come off. So this then is what this will be when you have joined all those parts together. Now, one thing I think is absolutely obvious. You can't really do this and then put the artwork in, can you? Because you can't really get your hands inside there. So all of this really, all the artwork, like I've used coloured paper for the curtains here, the bookshelves here, a picture on the wall here, the little chair cushion, little black diamond in the middle, and the plates and teapot and so on. All that's been done from cut out coloured paper and glued onto the form itself. But that, as I say, really has to be done at this earlier stage. You really, if I go back to this one here, this is like the stage where we've cut out all the sections. We've got the table here, we've got the chair here. At this stage, you then do your artwork. And it could be collage, like the one that I showed you, or another way of doing it is rather like this lovely one here by 11-year-old Liz, and with hers she's used pencil crayon and pen work. She's got hers round the other way. She's got the table on the right and the chair on the left. But all that work was done then before the whole room was glued together. And that really ends our first workshop. You see how easy it is to make something so beautiful. In the next workshop, I'm going to show how we make the single spread into 4 spreads and to make that lovely kind of opening up carousel book. And so we could finish up with something which looks like this, and this also demonstrates how you can work from any size of paper. Here's the living room. Here is the kitchen. Here is the bedroom. And there is the bathroom. And there's our little carousel. And when we make this, we put a little cover on it so it can all be folded back into a private little book like that. It's been wonderful sharing this idea with you. I look forward to working on the next workshop with you.